Welcome to Venture Deep Dives. I'm your host, Peter McEwen. Today, I'm highlighting Alumni Ventures' deep dive into artificial intelligence, or AI, presented by Nassau Street Ventures managing partner Tom Meyer. Tom has extensive experience at both venture-backed companies and as an investor in his own right. He's a veteran venture capitalist and has served as CEO and strategic consultant at software companies including Connotate, Iron Mountain, and Intromaps. Every day brings new headlines about the ongoing AI revolution that's sweeping through virtually every tech sector and beyond. From winning art competitions to passing bar exams, AI looks poised to fundamentally change our society. Tom's deep dive explores how generative AI's ability to create images, video, and written content on the fly has the potential to disrupt and revolutionize multi-billion-dollar industries. Thanks for listening, and please enjoy Tom's exploration of a space that is rapidly evolving every day.
Welcome to Alumni Ventures Deep Dives. This is our chance to share innovative thinking with our community about emerging technologies, trends, and businesses. I'm Tom Meyer, the managing partner of Nassau Street Ventures, Alumni Ventures Princeton-focused fund. I've made over 100 investments for Nassau Street Ventures, including many in the AI, machine learning, and data science space. And prior to this, I was CEO of companies in those space. I'm very excited to talk to you today about the generative AI space. There is so much going on in this space, and though it may be in sort of the hype cycle right now, there certainly will be an impact on how many of us do our jobs in the future. I'm a bit scared too, putting our thoughts out on this because the AI space is moving so fast that what I say today could be obsolete next week. So please take what I say as a snapshot of where the industry is at and use this as one data point as you continue to learn about how AI will shape our future. I know I will continue to learn and adjust my investment thesis as this space continues to develop. Thanks to my investing team and our communications team for helping put this presentation together. What I'm going to do is we're going to look at the generative AI landscape. What is it? Where it might be going? And why we think this can create significant value for investors. There are many fields of artificial intelligence, or AI. We can talk about machine learning, ML, deep learning, data science. Generative AI has been around for years, but in the last year, in fact, the past few months, it has taken hold in the public consciousness. What we mean when we say generative AI is AI that can generate novel content, new content, rather than simply analyzing or acting on existing data, which is what we call traditional AI. This allows programs to produce content that is creative and original, making them powerful tools for knowledge work. Think of a program with the ability to write an essay from scratch based on a prompt, or the ability to create a picture or video based on a simple input, or the ability to write code or interact with other programs. How does it work? These models are trained on massive data sets, and then they produce their output based on what they predict will come next. For instance, with text, they predict what word comes next through inference. It begs the question, why now? Why this boom? Why this year is this taking off? Three main things: better models, more data, and cheaper compute. They're better able to capture more data at these super large data sets. They can train the data faster with new techniques like the transformer data training approach, which allows training on just the important data. And these faster machines, the combination of Moore's law and Dennard scaling combined with parallelization and improved GPU architectures allows us to train larger models with greater amounts of data. It is massive what they're working with, and we have not been able to do it until now. And so why does this matter? Well, it's going to be a whole new way of working. I feel this next generation of AI computing will change the way we create, communicate, and interact with the online world. As I said, we're in the hype cycle stage of this space. but I'm forecasting that we will all be seeing the impact of generative AI. Let me describe how we think about the layout of the generative AI landscape. At the base of everything is the infrastructure layer, the hardware, the cloud platforms, the training data sets. Everything rests on this, and these layers will reap the rewards. Above that is the foundational model layer, the actual AI program. I think there'll only be a handful of successful players at the foundational layer due to the high entry bar, expensive research talent, significant upfront capital cost and time investment with the model training and data collection. And they are mostly likely already there. OpenAI, Google DeepMind, Anthropic, Stability, Cohere. Sitting on top of this are the applications that you and I will use. These will interact with the AI models themselves. This application layer is booming. There are many more successful companies at the application layer, at least a handful per vertical. Nailing down the right use case and providing an easy-to-use interface is key to success here. Examples of some existing players include Copy AI, creating marketing copy, Jasper AI, creating art and content, Runway ML for video editing, and many more. On this slide, look at this. We picked a couple slides here. There's a lot of verticals in the application layer, but at this point, the fastest developing use case areas are within text writing, image generation, and coding assistance. It's natural because the most successful generative AI models have been trained to carry out tasks in these domains, so the quality is high and it makes adoption easy. In text generation, some of the most successful players right now are cooperating tools like Copy AI and Jasper, and customer success tools like Forethought and Cresta. In image generation, the largest players right now are mostly individual consumer-focused B2C applications such as Midjourney and Wombo. Code generation has seen a lot of adoption among consumers and enterprises. Top players in this domain include companies like Replit and Tab9. There will be more use cases emerging in other verticals in the near future, particularly around video, audio, gaming, 3D, etc. Think about Meta wanting us to live in the metaverse. Who's going to create all those background artificial landscapes? AI will be used to do that. Existing applications are also adding AI interfaces to their current programs, like GitHub with their pioneering Copilot feature. And I predict we'll see new solutions which allow you to work across applications, which to date haven't been independent. This is an interesting look here at who the big players are. See who jumps out. These foundational layer companies are the big companies. OpenAI, Hugging Face, and Stability AI are among the most highly valued companies in this domain, with OpenAI leading the group by a large margin due to their leadership position and first mover advantage in research. In fact, this is slightly out of date after Microsoft's recent $10 billion investment into OpenAI. OpenAI started as a nonprofit, and its founders include Elon Musk and their CEO, XY Combinator President Sam Altman. Then it became a capped profit entity in 2019. It is a foundational model, but it also has some applications that it offers in their vertical plays. This is only the beginning of the industry. To put things in context, a lot of these companies on this list were founded in only the last 2 or 3 years. It just shows how fast these companies grow. We think about our investment thesis for generative AI around the lens of the foundational layer and the application layer. In the foundational layer, we are seeing success in both open source models and closed source models. Though closed source model OpenAI is having great success, open source models like Stability are becoming increasingly competitive. We also see monetization opportunities around the hosting services for open source models. The application layer, as we just saw, is highly fragmented and changing daily. One thing that we're looking for in B2B enterprise products is their ability to plug into existing systems for faster adoption. We think we'll be seeing more products which cross applications, creating new value from existing systems. We're keeping our eyes out for applications which are highly differentiated and can leverage network effects. The ability to iterate quickly, raise significant funds, and effectively sell to customers is critical in this ever-changing and fast-moving domain. There is a lot of investing going on in this space right now. As I said, many new companies are being formed. I'm being somewhat cautious, not wanting to jump into the next pets.com, but we're seeing some of the biggest venture deals being done now are in the AI space. Last year, there was $2.6 billion invested across 110 deals. You can get a sense for how dramatic this new wave is by looking at the pace at which it's being adopted. While Netflix took 3.5 years to reach 1 million users, Twitter did that in 2 years. Facebook did it in 10 months. Instagram reached 1 million users in 2.5 months. But OpenAI's ChatGPT reached 1 million users in 5 days. It's crazy how fast it's growing. So what are we looking for? Well, I think the best foundational layer companies will lead with best-in-class research and engineering talents to continuously develop state-of-the-art models with high accuracy and performance. It's very technical here. You got to get the right people. We think the winners will have more control over their generations to combat biases and hallucinations and smoothly integrate new information into their models. Lower inference costs and latency will also be key to gaining market share. What we don't want to see in the foundational layer companies include low-quality generations or lack of control over hallucinations, unsafe content, biases in generation, unstable servicing infrastructure, which may increase their cost basis and prevent them from scaling. At the application layer, I think successful companies will be focused on identifying and solving specific pain points for their end users. Building an easy-to-use user experience and achieving product market fit with high user rates is going to be important. We are looking for companies with a defensible moat, proprietary data sources, and those that benefit from the network effect. Some of the bad signals we don't want to see in the application layer companies include the failure to find product market fit and gain traction with users. Some of them come out of the gate fast and then fall quickly. We don't want to see them have problems with scalability. We want them to find sustainable ways to acquire users. We want them to have a defensible and differentiated product. Overall, companies that prioritize research and engineering talent, because this is so technically complex, and have control over their models and data, and focus on solving specific pain points for the users, are the ones we think will be most successful in the generative AI space. Here's a couple of examples of some interesting companies. As I mentioned, the granddaddy in the last few months, OpenAI. As mentioned before, OpenAI is widely recognized as a leader in this space and have produced the most famous models that we know of today. Interestingly, they also more recently launched their own startup fund, which has made initial investments into 4 companies across video editing, legal assistance, workspace, and language learning. One of their competitors, Stability AI, they're the leader in image generation models and co-developed the famous Stable Diffusion model. An interesting thing about them is that they're committed to the open source model, unlike OpenAI, and as a result have created a vibrant developer community, over 140,000 developers, all building around their models. It remains to see how this open source approach will play out in the long run, but Stability AI's premium imaging application, Dream Studio, alongside externally built products like Lensa, Wonder, and Nightcap, have amassed over 40 million downloads already so far. The third company, Hugging Face, is a great example of a well-built ML community and platform. By being the de facto community of choice for machine learning developers, and especially NLP developers, it is a much easier time selling into the enterprise, which has become its bread and butter. Today, over 5,000 organizations are already using Hugging Face, and most of their revenue comes from custom enterprise solutions. 3 more companies, just to mention, that you might have heard of or be interested in. The first one is Jasper, great example of a Gen AI company that tackled a real use case with a big market. Their platform helps businesses create new marketing content. Their laser focus on high quality outputs and their strategy of using the data collected from users to fine-tune their models have helped them gain the most paying users of any of their competitors. The next company, Runway, is trying to be the Figma of video editing. It is used by hundreds of thousands of users, most of whom are the simple creators who want to create and edit engaging video content but don't have the budget for professional agencies or studios. They are attacking a big market. The global audio and video editing software market is valued at $4 billion in 2023 and growing rapidly. We invested in Agolo, the third company. They've developed generative AI tools to do content summarization. They're differentiated because they can process the data wholly on-premise, not in the cloud, which has been giving them an advantage when working with government or defense data. Now let's talk about some of the risks and opportunities, right? It's not uncommon for revolutionary technologies to bring with them new risks and ethical questions. We're seeing these models absorbing and then exhibiting negative social biases, such as sexism and racism, and spouting factual inaccuracies. ChatGPT was in part trained on Reddit posts, which if you've ever seen them, you know they can resemble a junior high locker room type conversation and all that negatively implies. Additionally, generative AI has raised issues around authorship and copyright of generated content. Who owns the rights to creative works and how they can be used? Is it owned entirely by the algorithm, or should part of the authorship go to the original source content that the algorithm was trained on? We have to think carefully about how to regulate this powerful technology and what guardrails and safety measures should be put in place. But if we look on the bright side, generative AI models are incredibly powerful, and it's an amazing technology, has the potential to completely upend our lives in a net positive way. They will allow us to work exponentially more efficiently and creatively by automating away much of the drudgery and unlock completely new possibilities for human innovations. Being able to write a marketing email or generate art illustrations in 1/100th of the time they used to take is just the beginning. Just as calculators and computers allow us to do more complex math easily, AI will allow more people to be more creative. Imagine you being able to create your own movie at home using AI. We can't even imagine what's coming. As these models get better over time, and as we understand them more, we'll unlock many more use cases where we can have a delightfully personalized new experience, oftentimes with a simple natural language interface. I'll leave these resources on this slide linked in the presentation. So if you want to learn more later, you can come back and click on them. But let me leave you with these thoughts. This is an exciting time for technology and society. We're going to see industries transformed and even new industries created. The pace of development is accelerating, and the rate of adoption is unprecedented. We're going to see changes across media and communications, software, life sciences, and how we interact with technology and each other. The size of this market is enormous, and I'm excited to invest in this space. My one piece of advice is hop on and try ChatGPT or some of the other programs for yourself if you haven't already. It's a lot of fun to do that, and I hope you'll stick with us and let us know what you learn. Thank you so much.